Did ancient humans just survive? Or did they truly know how to have fun? From Egypt to Mesopotamia, board games like Senet and the royal game of were staples of daily social life. In ancient Mesoamerica, team sports with rubber balls were more than just a game. They were a central part of culture. The Olympics began in 776 BC, where athletes competed for immense glory and a simple, symbolic laurel wreath. In Rome, chariot racing was a high-stakes obsession, with fan factions causing riots over their favorite competing teams. Music goes back 40,000 years, as evidenced by the oldest bone flutes found in the caves of Germany. Cave walls weren't just art. In the flickering firelight, they became the world's first animated storytelling sessions. Children played with jointed dolls and wheeled animals, proving that the spirit of play hasn't changed in thousands of years. Ancient Mesopotamians shared communal beer, while Greeks debated politics and philosophy in elaborate, wine-filled symposia. Even tourists existed. Romans and Greeks traveled to see world wonders and left behind ancient "I was here" graffiti. Greek theater was a grand civic event, and Romans even flooded arenas to stage epic, large-scale naval battles. Entertainment wasn't an escape from life. It was a way to live it fully, connecting us to our ancestors through play. Archery was both an essential survival skill and a popular competitive sport, testing speed and accuracy. Foot races were common in nearly every ancient society, celebrating the raw power and agility of the human body. Balance training was part of physical play, helping them master the control needed for complex daily movements. Simple pleasures like skipping stones by the water were universal, finding joy in the physics of the natural world. Juggling has ancient roots, with evidence showing performers entertaining crowds with agility and rhythmic coordination. Walking on stilts was a popular performance art, showing their desire to master unusual and challenging physical feats. Wrestling was the most primal test of strength, a common sport that built character and physical endurance. Percussion was the heartbeat of ancient fun, keeping the tribe synchronized through long nights of communal dancing. The night sky provided endless entertainment, as they created stories for the stars that guided their navigation. Even simple bubbles, made from soap and breath, brought wonder to the eyes of ancient children. Hide-and-seek is a timeless game, teaching children the art of observation and silence in the deep woods. Climbing was more than a task. It was an athletic challenge that allowed them to see the world from new heights. Hopscotch grids have been found on ancient Roman paving stones, showing their love for jumping games. Training birds was a form of companionship, creating an elegant link between the human world and the sky. Mythology was the core of their storytelling, teaching morals through the exciting adventures of gods and monsters. Pottery was a creative outlet, turning everyday objects into canvases for their artistic expression and relaxation. Lutes and harps were staples of ancient entertainment, providing a sophisticated sound for the elite and commoners alike. Swimming in rivers was a favored pastime, a perfect way to escape the heat and enjoy the physical freedom. Rolling hoops was a classic game, testing their speed and coordination while running through the village paths. Textile arts were a peaceful hobby, creating beautiful garments while sharing news and stories with neighbors. Sparring with wooden sticks was common, transforming serious combat training into a thrilling, friendly, competitive game. Marbles were popular for millennia, a simple game that required a sharp eye and a steady hand to win. Adorning themselves with natural crowns was a simple celebration of beauty and the arrival of the warmer seasons. Fishing wasn't just for food, it was a meditative activity that allowed them to connect with the quiet life of the water. Ancient people in cold climates used animal bones as skates, making winter travel into a fast-paced, exciting game. Kites were invented in ancient Asia, used for both signaling and pure, joyful entertainment in the open skies. Feasts were the ultimate social entertainment, where food, music, and debate blended into a night of true connection. Painting was a way to capture the world's spirit, a personal hobby that brought meaning to their daily experiences. Leapfrog has existed for ages, a quick, energetic way for children to burn off energy in the dusty village streets. Wood carving allowed them to turn simple forest materials into meaningful figures, tools, or small, personal treasures. You can't catch me. Watch me, I'm gonna tag you.
No way!
Many games mimicked the relationships between animals, teaching children about the realities of nature through playful role-play. Adventure was always on their mind, planning journeys to see the great temples or the wonders of the foreign lands. Dances were deeply connected to tribal identity, where movement told the history and the values of their entire culture. Masks were used in ritual performances, allowing them to embody the spirits or characters of their ancient, sacred stories. Tug-of-war tested communal strength, a simple, raw contest that brought the tribe together in a friendly struggle. Crafting gear was a hobby for many, as the quality of the tool determined the success of the hunt or the sport. Discus throwing was a test of power, one of the original Olympic sports that still defines our love for competition. They stopped to watch the sunset, just like us, appreciating the fleeting colors that marked the day's end. Dice games made from knuckle bones were common, where luck and strategy decided the winner of the evening's fun. Interacting with wild creatures was a form of play, a unique way to bond with the animals sharing their wild world. They enjoyed working with leather, turning raw material into refined accessories that were as stylish as they were practical. Reading was an elite leisure activity, opening doors to vast philosophies and epic tales of heroes long departed. Tops have been found globally, a spinning toy that captured the imagination of children for thousands of years. They mastered simple, clever tricks to impress friends, showing that play is often about being a bit of a performer. They visited ancient sites to admire the works of those who came before, finding inspiration in the history of their lands. Exploring the deep forest was a hobby, gathering rare items and observing the hidden wonders of the quiet woods. Duets made music a social experience, where two people shared a melody to create a stronger, more beautiful sound. Even the simplest inversion allowed them to see the world from a different perspective, a playful challenge for body and mind. Creating jewelry was a creative leisure activity, crafting pieces that expressed their personal taste and tribal identity. Taking a long walk through the forest was a time to clear the mind and enjoy the peace of their natural environment. They marveled at the uniqueness of every snowflake, a fleeting, beautiful wonder that arrived each year with the winter. Carving toys for the next generation was a labor of love, ensuring that the spirit of play was never lost to time. They followed the paths of fireflies, fascinated by the living lights that danced through their forest home every evening. Debating ideas was a sophisticated hobby for many, as intellectual stimulation was as important as physical amusement. Jumping over obstacles was an instinctive way to play, turning the simple forest landscape into an exciting training ground. Recording their dreams was a form of leisure that allowed them to understand the hidden messages of their subconscious mind. Studying the colors of nature was a quiet hobby, collecting samples that brightened their camp and pleased the eye. The art of oral storytelling was perfected through years of performance, creating legends that captivated the entire village tribe. Polishing their mirrors was a leisure habit, taking pride in their appearance and reflecting the care they took of themselves.
Running alongside their dogs was a joy.
A shared energy that united human and animal in a fast-paced game of pursuit. Mimicking birds was a clever game, a skill that was as useful for the hunt as it was for simple entertainment. They valued time for deep reflection, allowing the mind to wander and find peace in the stillness of the quiet forest. They marveled at the hidden forces of magnets, a natural puzzle that turned science into a simple, enchanting plaything. Imagining new destinations was a favorite hobby, mapping out the world in their heads and dreaming of the wonders beyond. Simply watching the fire was an entertainment, as the hypnotic dance of flames offered an endless, shifting form of art. Crafted wooden birds for the sky, a simple toy that brought the majesty of the avian world down to the village. Even without glass lenses, they watched the stars with intense focus, learning the patterns of the celestial cycles with wonder. Collecting stones was a simple, lifelong hobby, a way to keep a piece of their journey in their pockets at all times. The physical sensation of rushing through tall grass, a playful, high-speed connection with the vibrant, wild earth. I've finished this part.
Want to add some blue?
Yes, let's make it vibrant.
Together now.
Perfect. Creating hand shadows was a moment of pure creativity, turning the boring wall into a theater of light and moving shapes.
This is for you.
Thank you, friend. This means a lot. Watching the moon rise was a quiet evening ritual, a beautiful reminder that there is always beauty to be found in darkness. They honored the past by revisiting the places where history happened, finding a deep, quiet sense of connection to their ancestors. The drum's beat was a constant, a social pulse that brought everyone into a shared, rhythmic experience of life and laughter. They lived with the joy of belonging to a vast, star-filled universe, a perspective that made even their struggles feel smaller. They kept the fire burning, the ultimate symbol of a life well lived, filled with music, games, stories, and human connection. Every day was an opportunity to create something beautiful, proving that art and play are central to our human existence. With the dawn, they prepared for another day, ready to find new ways to connect, to learn, and to truly enjoy life. Their legacy is our legacy, the proof that no matter the age, we are built to create, to connect, and to find fun. Humanity is a story of resilience and joy. Keep playing, keep creating, and keep finding the fun in our long, wonderful journey.